former National Commissioner of Correctional Services, Arthur Fraser's decision to place former President Jacob Zuma on medical parole was illegal. The Gauteng High Court also declared that the time Zuma was out of jail on parole would not be considered part of the fulfillment of his 15-month sentence. Zuma was granted parole on medical grounds just weeks after being imprisoned for contempt of court, following his refusal to appear at the state capture inquiry. I am now joined by Nkosentsha Shezi from the RET forces. Mr. Shezi, thank you for your time this afternoon. Your reaction?
Well, thank you very much for allowing us this opportunity to air our anger and disappointment at a missed opportunity by our judiciary and especially North Gauteng High Court, to correct the perception that is out there in society that these courts are captured, and more especially captured by Cyril Ramaphosa, as it was seen in the CR17 bank statement that are sealed in courts. According to the finding of the public protector, R1 billion was used to pay certain institutions and individuals. And I wonder if those judges that have handled and gave the judgment today are not part of the judges who are alleged to have received bribery from the CR17 bank statement. And also, the manner in which this judgment has been delivered, it undermines President Jacob Zuma's rights. In fact, it increases the sentence because President Jacob Zuma is not a free man as we speak. The fact that he is at home does not necessarily translate to him being free. He's actually under medical parole and is not able to act as a free patient would do. Even though he's a patient, but he's still in the bondage of the correctional services. And therefore, to say that the time that he has spent on medical parole must not be added on his sentence, it shows the anger at which the courts are towards President Jacob Zuma. It shows that these courts, the suspicion that they are being used as a political machinery to destroy President Jacob Zuma and destroy anyone who stands for radical economic transformation, anyone who advocates for the return of the natives' land that was stolen by 1652 settlers who murdered and killed our forefathers, will be dealt with by this court. And it is a sad moment in the history of our democracy. In fact, I am led to think and be reminded of a speech that was delivered by President O.R. Tambo when he said, there shall come a time when the African National Congress government will do to you what the apartheid government did to you. And therefore, at that time, you must do to the ANC government what you did to the apartheid government. And I just hope and pray that our lawyers are going to appeal this judgment and sanity shall prevail. Other than that, the masses will have to stand up and defend this democracy and defend the courts and defend the courts' independence. The courts must be able to exercise their will outside of political influence, and the CR17 bank statement must be sealed immediately so that we can accept any form of judgment from this court. Other than that, we perceive them to be captured.
When you say that the masses will have to stand up in defense, what does that mean? Is this a threat?
It means that as citizens of this country, we are above anything else because we, the citizens, are the one who drafted this constitution or should have drafted this constitution. This constitution and these courts are acting on our behalf. And therefore, when these courts do no longer show us that they are impartial, that they are as independent as they are advocated to be, the masses must stand up. And in fact, we await the legal response to this judgment. And beyond this legal response, we know that there are masses of our people. And as defenders of President Jacob Zuma and those who believe in his ideology and who support him, will go all out to stir the masses, to call upon them to stand up and defend democracy and fight by all means necessary to have him released. Any means that is legal must be used. Any means that is allowed within a democratic dispensation, masses must rise and defend this democracy.
You allege that the courts are used as political tools. What evidence can you perhaps share with us that could help us make an informed decision?
You see, first and foremost, the public protector found that R1 billion was used to bribe, to corrupt certain individuals and institutions so that Cyril Ramaphosa would become the president of the ANC, and the ANC being the majority party in South Africa, ultimately the president of the country. With such an allegation, such a report, which is so damning on the side of the president, our court, the judge moved on to seal the document